Have you ever paused to examine your palm and observed something quite peculiar? A subtle arc, almost resembling a slender crescent, seemingly inscribed among the natural lines you've possessed since birth. Many individuals traverse their whole existence without ever contemplating these enigmatic signs, simply attributing them to arbitrary formations of skin and destiny. Yet, what if I suggested that this ancient emblem might hold the secret to comprehending your innermost spiritual journey? A celestial imprint left upon you by your very soul from existences far in the past. Join us now on an exploration into one of the most profound enigmas within spiritual understanding, where the material and ethereal realms converge right at the core of your hand. This moment, we delve deeply into the concealed significance of the crescent moon symbol, a phenomenon that Edgar Cayce, revered as the sleeping prophet and pioneer of holistic medicine, often referred to in his most personal interpretations. This is not merely anecdotal lore or baseless belief. This discussion explores the essence of karmic recollections, agreements between souls, and the sacred designs that accompany us through each successive embodiment. However, before we delve deeper, please consider tapping the like button and sharing your viewing location with us today. It truly brings joy to see our audience connecting from various corners of the globe. And for those who haven't yet, kindly press the subscribe button and activate the notification chime so you'll be informed of all our forthcoming presentations. Now, take a moment to ponder this. Have you ever experienced something like this? You encounter an individual for the first time, yet an undeniable sense of recognition washes over you, as if your spirits had known each other through countless ages. Or perhaps you've sensed an internal summons, a quiet but persistent urge guiding you towards a grander purpose, though its exact form remains undefined. These occurrences are not mere accidents. According to the profound insights of Edgar Cayce regarding reincarnation and the memory of the soul, these experiences are glimpses of your everlasting journey emerging through the shroud of your conscious mind. Perhaps that delicate crescent shape upon your hand could represent the tangible form of a profound spiritual odyssey, a deep karmic imprint your essence elected to bring into this existence, serving as a gentle echo of tasks yet to be completed, solemn vows made, or innate spiritual talents awaiting their full realization. The slender moon has long held sway over the human mind from the earliest moments of human society. Throughout antiquity, various societies honored it as a representation of sacred feminine power, deep intuitive wisdom, rhythmic periods of change, and the enigmatic interplay of illumination and obscurity. Within the practices of palmistry, extending from the ancient traditions of India across to Greece, this particular indicator has been linked to elevated extrasensory perceptions, profound emotional responsiveness, and a spiritual essence that has journeyed through numerous incarnations. Why does this emblem appear on certain individuals, yet not on others? What grants this specific design such profound spiritual meaning? And perhaps most captivatingly, what message is your soul attempting to convey to you through this quiet symbol, imprinted upon your very being? Remain with me to the conclusion, for the insights you are about to uncover possess the power to fundamentally alter your perception of who you are and your unique journey in life. Our journey will delve not only into the significance of this mark, but also into the reasons behind its manifestation on your hand, precisely at this juncture in your spiritual development, and how comprehending it can unveil hidden pathways within the depths of your own awareness. Edgar Cayce, throughout the countless trance sessions he conducted, frequently discussed the soul's progression across epochs and how our corporeal forms bear the subtle impressions of these age-old travels. He possessed an insight that contemporary scientific thought is only now starting to apprehend. That consciousness does not merely cease upon our passing. Instead, it undergoes a metamorphosis. It continues its journey, leaving behind discernible remnants. These imprints are not merely symbolic or theoretical concepts. They possess a genuine, discernible existence, woven deeply into the essence of our very selves. Whenever Cayce delved into instances of inexplicable emotional tendencies, repetitive relationship challenges, or profound innate fears without any rational explanation in an individual's current life, he regularly indicated incomplete karmic strands stemming from prior existences. The comforting revelation he offered to countless individuals searching for understanding was precisely this: your suffering is not without reason. Your hardships are not a form of retribution, and your most profound desires are far more than mere fantasies. They are communications. They signify your spirit's endeavor to conclude a narrative that was broken off, to mend an injury that the passage of years by itself could not seal, to honor a commitment established in a moment of clear spiritual purpose before your arrival into this earthly domain. Now, let us explore in greater depth what these insights specifically imply for your own experience. That distinctive crescent pattern visible on your palm is not simply an unusual biological characteristic or merely an amusing subject for casual discussion. This is a quiet summons to understanding. Having laid still, anticipating the perfect time for you to truly sense it, bring to mind those choices throughout your life that seem to emerge without a visible source. Recollect the abrupt changes in your journey that felt preordained instead of individually decided. These flashes of intuitive insight represent your soul, emerging past the clamor of ordinary living, quietly recalling promises made far preceding your initial arrival in this physical form. As Cayce's interpretations suggest, advanced spiritual mentors are constantly at work, just beyond our immediate conscious notice. These beings arrange signals, serendipitous occurrences, and yes, even corporeal imprints to assist us in recalling our fundamental objective. The symbol of the crescent moon is among the most infrequent of these emblems, as it denotes a spirit that has journeyed through earthly existences countless times already. A consciousness imbued with accumulated strata of lived experiences, deep insight, and lingering unresolved matters. This symbol is found upon those who have returned to this plane, not simply for the sake of life itself, but to address and settle something of profound importance. Perhaps it could be a bond that concluded suddenly in another existence, a creative talent that was stifled, a spiritual calling that was abandoned due to apprehension, or a deep wound, either given or received, that requires the healing touch of conscious transformation. The underlying truth is that your current existence is not separate from your previous lives. They are all interwoven within an elaborate tapestry of cause and effect, lessons and evolution, setbacks and atonement. Every inexplicable draw you sense, every individual who enters your reality and challenges your foundations. Every recurring pattern that persists despite your earnest attempts to break free. These are resonant echoes spanning across various lifetimes, seeking resolution through your being in this very moment. Should you begin to perceive links between these insights and your personal life experiences, please share in the comments. I'm beginning. Please recall Edgar Cayce's profound insight, a wisdom echoed by numerous spiritual traditions for millennia. Consciousness is not some ethereal, abstract concept merely floating unseen. Instead, it is a vibrant living force that actively shapes reality at every conceivable level, extending even to the fundamental physical structure of our very own bodies. The intricate lines etched upon your palms, the precise locations of moles, and even specific birthmarks you carry. These are not simply random genetic occurrences. They are, in fact, visible reflections of consciousness, imprinted upon our physical form to serve as guideposts for your unique journey throughout this lifetime. This understanding is far from superstition. It signifies the universe operating in accordance with laws vastly more sophisticated than what we have typically been taught to recognize. Consider it from this perspective. When you are mastering a new skill or venturing into unfamiliar territory, you instinctively leave yourself markers, gentle reminders, little internal notes that suggest, "This is important. Focus your attention right here." Your soul, prior to entering a new physical incarnation, engages in precisely the same intricate process. Your essence understands that upon your entry into the dense fabric of earthly life, enveloped by its glamour and the pressures of each day, a forgetting will occur. You will lose sight of your genuine self, the source from which you emanated, and most crucially, the very mission you embarked upon here. Therefore, with profound insight, your soul works alongside higher spiritual guides to imprint specific markers within your bodily form. These serve as gentle clues, guiding you back to your authentic journey when the moment is opportune. The crescent moon symbol carries a deeply significant and particular meaning. It announces the commencement of a new spiritual phase, yet not just any passage. This is a progression that was halted previously, left unfulfilled, and now calls for your mindful engagement to bring it to completion. You may have observed recurring patterns in your existence that feel remarkably iterative, almost as if the same lesson is presented to you repeatedly in varied forms. Perhaps you consistently draw in similar kinds of connections that pose identical tests to your spirit. Perhaps you sense an attraction to a particular endeavor or a form of artistic expression, only to repeatedly encounter unseen barriers. These are not indicators of inadequacy or misfortune. Instead, they represent the cosmos, offering you chances to bring to fruition something initiated in a distant past. Beyond the veil of your conscious perception, spiritual companions who have journeyed alongside you through numerous existences are arranging perfectly timed events and meetings, all intended to stir your awareness. The individual who suddenly entered your life and altered its course irrevocably, that was no mere chance. The book that descended from the shelf precisely when its message was most vital for you, that was not an accident. That profound internal yearning that prevents you from accepting a life that might seem ideal superficially, yet leaves your spirit feeling unfulfilled. That is the crescent moon reaching out to you, gently prompting you to recall, to acknowledge, and to step into the profound change that has been patiently awaiting your readiness. Furthermore, the precise placement of this distinctive mark upon your hand holds an added layer of meaning. Should you discover this marking centered within your palm, your purpose likely revolves around instigating transformation within your direct surroundings. You are one who offers fresh viewpoints and soothing energy to every space you enter. If its presence is noted near the Mount of Venus, adjacent to your thumb, your destined path is intricately woven with matters of connection, affection, and the journey of upholding your inner spirit's purity, even amidst profound bonds with fellow beings. However, no matter its precise location, the fundamental message conveyed remains constant. Recall your true self, recollect the purpose you arrived to fulfill, and cultivate faith that all circumstances in your existence are aligning to assist you in achieving precisely that. Should these words resonate with an intuition you've long held but struggled to articulate, consider leaving a comment expressing, "The call echoes within me." A distinct form of profound unease is often borne by those who bear this specific sign, and if it is present on your hand, you possess an intimate understanding of this very sentiment. It differs from clinical depression, yet at times it might be misidentified as such. This feeling isn't quite anxiety, even if it presents with similar indications. Rather, it's something profound, more about existence itself, a quiet unease that no measure of worldly accomplishments can truly diminish. It's a subtle, inner longing, a kind of yearning that food, wealth, connections, or successes can never genuinely fulfill. You might survey your present circumstances, and perhaps, by all outward appearances, everything seems perfectly adequate, even commendable. Yet within you, there's a persistent whisper, a quiet inquiry that asks, is there truly nothing more than this? A sense lingers that you're meant for something more significant, something truly important, something that carries a deeper meaning beyond merely existing and managing daily responsibilities. Should these sentiments resonate deeply within you, and if you feel drawn to continue exploring these profound spiritual insights, you are welcome to join this journey by subscribing, ensuring you receive forthcoming wisdom and perspectives. What we share here is more than simply information. It offers a gentle path leading you back to your most genuine self. Rest assured, these inner stirrings are not merely illusions or tricks of your own mind, nor are they, by any means, indications of a personal failing or any inherent shortcoming. The sensations you're feeling now are your inner essence striving intensely to awaken you, to rouse you from the pleasant inertia that contemporary existence tends to foster. Prior to your entry into this physical form, even before your initial inhalation, your very being entered into particular commitments. These were not light-hearted choices or fleeting promises. Rather, they were hallowed pledges, deep-seated obligations inscribed within your everlasting self, carrying the full import of cosmic implications. Perhaps you once stood before your spiritual mentors in that realm, between existences, with silent tears flowing down your ethereal countenance, making a solemn pledge that this journey would unfold uniquely. On this occasion, you resolved not to let apprehension hinder your path. You vowed not to forsake your purpose, even when challenges arose. The mark of the crescent moon upon your palm serves as the tangible proof of that commitment, an enduring emblem signifying your arrival here to thrive, not merely to exist. And this is precisely what grants it such profound significance. To thrive does not imply an absence of hardship or stumble. This particular emblem signifies that you have stumbled numerous times throughout countless prior existences. Perhaps, in one iteration of being, you possessed every talent, every capability, and profound spiritual wisdom, yet arrogance guided you off course. It could be that in a different life, your love was profound yet clinging, and that deep bond eventually resulted in distress. You might have served as an instructor, a caregiver, or a mentor, only to falter when your own conviction faced examination. These instances are not meant as critiques or pronouncements of fault. They are simply integral components of your soul's unfolding development, like passages within an extensive narrative. The insights consistently uncovered through Edgar Cayce's channeled messages indicate that souls reappearing with these distinctive symbols frequently carry histories as what one might term light bearers. Nevertheless, that designation merely begins to capture the profound essence of its true significance. These are individual awarenesses that, over numerous embodiments, have been drawn toward therapeutic occupations, sacred callings, instructional capacities, or roles where their very being offered solace to those around them. Perhaps, in a past existence, you served as a healer, employing natural remedies and inner wisdom to alleviate suffering. Or another time, you may have been a spiritual guide, committing your being to devout reflection and assistance to others. It's possible you were a midwife, gently ushering fresh beginnings into existence, or a compassionate advisor, guiding spirits towards a tranquil departure. Yet, with this deep understanding comes a profound, intricate realization. Should you possess this unique essence and not be living in harmony with its true purpose, an unceasing subtle discomfort will pervade your being. Imagine an instrument residing within you, crafted to produce beautiful melodies, yet it remains silent, generating an unsettling disharmony because it's not fulfilling its destined role. This internal discord extends its influence throughout every facet of your existence, touching your connections with others, your physical well-being, your feeling of completeness, and even the visions that visit you in slumber. If you have experienced this unexplainable sorrow and are now recognizing its origin, please share in the comments with the phrase, "My spirit recalls its mission." For those among you who bear this particular sign, it's highly probable you've sensed a divergence throughout your existence. Not a superficial kind of distinction, but rather a profound misalignment with the prevailing current of the world. Even in your early years, you likely perceived nuances that escaped the attention of others. The sorrow masked by a pleasant expression, the underlying unease in a space that went unmentioned, the silent understanding of a reality everyone chose to overlook. While other children appeared content with playful activities and straightforward joys, you were already posing inquiries that unsettled grown-ups. Why do individuals inflict pain upon one another? Why does such pervasive inequity exist? Why do so many appear to drift through life in a trance-like state? These were not merely innocent, childlike inquisitions. They represented the spiritual indicators of a deep awareness that retains knowledge of something fundamental, a truth that the majority of humanity has entirely let slip from memory. the profound sensitivity residing within you, which at times feels like a heavy weight because you tend to soak up the feelings of those around you, much like a soft sponge. Understand that this is not a frailty or a condition that requires a remedy to make it disappear. Instead, it's a testament to a soul that has cultivated its intuitive perception over the course of many different existences. Your deep-seated sense of fairness, which glows with such intensity that it occasionally leaves you feeling utterly drained. That expansive compassion that seems to swell beyond the confines of your heart whenever you encounter hardship. These vivid qualities serve as imprints from the essence of who you have been in times past, gently seeping into the very fabric of your being in this present moment. You are not unusual. You are not damaged. You are not excessively perceptive, nor overly emotional, nor too much of anything at all. It is simply that you have retained a remembrance of what others have, regrettably, allowed to slip from their grasp. And this creates a perceptible chasm between your awakened self and a world that has, by and large, chosen to remain in slumber. This earthly existence, with its focus on the material, seems crafted to make us lose sight of it all. Through the incessant demands of mere existence, the captivating diversions of amusement, the enticing reassurance of habit, and the ego's perpetual quest for approval, a collection of influences conspires to separate us from our inherent spiritual nature. When you consider this alongside life's unavoidable hardships, the letdowns, the betrayals, and the bereavements, it's hardly surprising that many individuals drift from the profound insights they once held. Edgar Cayce possessed an intimate grasp of this interplay, which is why he characterized suffering not as a penalty or arbitrary unkindness, but as a sacred chimes, a cosmic signal that resonates with growing volume until we ultimately give it our attention. That persistent feeling of unease you carry, that sequence of trials that appear to strike at your most vulnerable points, that recurring pattern of deprivation, these may not be indicators of misfortune or a curse upon you. Instead, they could be the alert your soul deliberately established for itself, knowing it would require something forceful enough to stir you from a state of comfortable disengagement. The crescent moon marking itself serves as one of these silent yet persistent chimes, awaiting the moment you truly gaze at your hand and ponder its meaning. As that sense of curiosity awakens within you, everything around you begins to transform. You start to become aware of details you previously overlooked. Those unusual dreams you've experienced throughout your entire life, the ones that feel more like actual recollections than mere fantasies, suddenly acquire profound meaning. The moments of déjà vu, which occur with a surprising regularity, no longer seem like minor brain anomalies, but instead feel like brief glimpses beyond the veil of ordinary time. Then there are those individuals who entered your world and instantly felt like kindred spirits, even though your acquaintance with them was very recent. You start to comprehend that this deep sense of recognition extends far beyond the boundaries of this present existence. These occurrences are neither mere happenstance nor products of your imagination. You are, in fact, accessing faint recollections from other lifetimes, fragments of experiences from the past that your conscious awareness struggles to fully grasp. Yet your innermost being recognizes them completely. This is the very reason you have always felt a persistent sense of seeking something without ever quite knowing what it was. You are endeavoring to rediscover a sense of wholeness you once experienced, a specific role you once fulfilled, an aspect of yourself that predates this current physical form and will continue beyond its passing. Should you have encountered these peculiar moments of knowing and are beginning to connect the dots regarding their significance, please share your thoughts below. You might feel, as I do, that there has always been a deeper understanding. Your current presence here, the unseen pull that guided you to this particular viewing, your sustained attention through our discussion thus far, none of these occurrences are mere chance. The unique marking upon your hand merely signifies the initial stride within a far grander process of awakening. Yet, this particular step holds the greatest weight, for it is the one that sets your journey into motion. You have already started to perceive this inner summons, even if its true nature remained unacknowledged until this very instant. Perhaps you found yourself feeling a quiet unease recently, pondering aspects you once embraced without reservation. Or perhaps you felt a subtle pull towards spiritual explorations, finding yourself reaching for certain texts or viewing programs that speak to an undefined longing within. This isn't just a passing interest. It is your soul recognizing its own native tongue after years of communicating in ways that felt unfamiliar. I understand a certain apprehension might be gently emerging now, a quiet concern about what you might uncover regarding yourself, your history, and your true calling. This is entirely natural. But know this important truth. Spiritual insight is never meant to cause you harm. It might indeed gently unsettle your sense of comfort. Quite so. It could carefully unravel beliefs you've held for decades, gently test connections you considered unwavering, or show that the life you've created doesn't quite align with your soul's deeper purpose. This process of release can feel unsettling, even a little sore. Yet, it is the gentle ache of freedom, not true destruction. Like removing a cast from a mended bone that has finally recovered. Momentarily awkward, but essential for you to move freely once more. The spiritual realm does not function with the severity we so often dread. Spiritual presences do not shout demands or give ultimatums. Invisible presences softly murmur, gently guiding, and orchestrate connections and occurrences so delicate they might go unnoticed unless you truly observe. And in this very moment, their quiet messages are reaching you woven into each phrase that resonates as you hear these words. Consider that persistent ache you've been carrying, the one you've approached as an adversary, seeking to banish or dull its sensation. What if I suggested it actually serves as your most trustworthy guide? Each challenging encounter, every profound loss that fractured your heart, and every barrier that appeared set to overwhelm your inner strength. These experiences weren't arbitrary acts of unkindness from an uncaring cosmos. Instead, they were meticulously selected components of your soul's journey, precisely crafted to resolve what remained incomplete from earlier lifetimes. This is precisely where your inner strength resides. With each instance, you opt for affection instead of apprehension, pardon instead of bitterness, empathy instead of condemnation. You are actively releasing karmic patterns. This transformation isn't just a conceptual idea, but a genuine reshaping of your very spiritual essence. When someone caused you pain, yet you decided to offer forgiveness regardless, that was not an act of feebleness. Instead, it was you severing a connection that could have entangled your spirit across countless existences. Consider the moment you had the chance to seek retribution, but opted for compassion instead. In that instance, you entirely redirected your path. The mark of the crescent moon upon your hand isn't a destiny imposed by universal arbitrators. It represents a chance etched into your being, a gentle nudge that you possess the ability to make distinct choices in this present moment. There is no compulsion to retrace the familiar cycles that resulted in hardship or suffering in previous incarnations. You are now endowed with the blessing of mindful perception, the capacity to respond with insight rather than impulsively from deep-seated ancient hurts. This is your profound opportunity to not only evolve within this current life, but also to mend past timelines, loosening the hold of long-ago errors and unhonored pledges. The change in perspective necessary for this journey is deeply significant, yet elegantly straightforward. Moving from a state of being acted upon to shaping your own reality, from facing retribution to gaining strength, from constraint to freedom. If this profound shift resonates with you, and you're prepared to embrace this opportunity fully, then indicate in the comments, "My choice is love, not fear." As you begin to truly understand this fundamental insight, extraordinary occurrences will start to unfold. The minor coincidences you once dismissed as insignificant suddenly reveal themselves to be guiding signals, directing you toward a particular path. Perhaps an acquaintance mentions a specific book, and only a few hours later, you encounter references to it on 3 additional occasions. You might recall a long-lost friend, and without warning, they contact you that very day, breaking years of quiet. When faced with a difficult choice, seeking clarity, a complete stranger might utter precisely the words you needed to receive. This is not the cosmos attempting to mislead you, nor is it merely your mind's capacity for identifying patterns working excessively. Instead, this represents the unfolding of karma, your soul's innate memory rediscovering its true course after wandering lost in the vastness of oblivion. You might notice certain individuals emerging in your existence, individuals who feel like those absent components of a greater design you weren't even aware you were constructing. And with their presence, a profound realization settles in. It's a feeling of deep appropriateness, of fate's design gently unfurling, of finding yourself precisely in the place you were always intended. Edgar Cayce spoke with great certainty on this matter. Life, he maintained, makes no errors. Each and every occurrence, particularly those moments that bring discomfort, transpires because a process of mending is underway. The difficult period you encountered last year, which felt like an absolute ending, was in fact the genesis of a more genuine path. The bond that caused your heart such pain, that was simply creating room for a devotion founded on spiritual harmony, rather than cycles of past patterns. The employment you ceased to have, the companion who proved disloyal, the ailment that compelled you to decelerate, every one of these, each moment of suffering, was meticulously guiding you back to your true calling. Now, allow me to share something vital regarding that calling, because this is often the point where many individuals bearing this particular imprint become disoriented or overburdened. Your mission isn't always a vast public undertaking that secures fame or instantly alters numerous lives. For many souls bearing the crescent moon's mark, the calling deeply connects to the collective, yet emerges through intimacy. You're here to influence energy in rooms you enter, bringing peace from chaos simply by your presence. You're here to engage individuals directly, hearing their stories with such focus that they feel truly seen, perhaps for the first time in years. You're here to work with words, spoken or written, that touch someone's heart exactly when they're most needed. You're called to reshape environments not by force, but by frequency, to console hearts not through advice, but through true compassion, to teach not through lectures, but through the authenticity of your very life. But here is what occurs. The world excels at drawing away attention. Life often presents glittering attractions before you. Concepts such as achievement, standing, assurance, and comfort. And quite soon, your true purpose for being here may have slipped from your remembrance. Perhaps you fashioned an existence that appears impressive from the outside, yet within, it feels vacant, disconnected from your soul's genuine mission. If you find yourself experiencing that distinct kind of profound longing, a feeling of not quite belonging to this era or this world, like a nostalgia for a place you've never actually known, then understand that these sensations are indicative of an ancient soul. You have journeyed across this planet many times before, gathering profound wisdom throughout centuries, and your return now isn't merely to inhabit, but to realign your trajectory, to offer service in ways previously unavailable, and to absorb the lessons that once remained unfulfilled. Should you find a resonance within this description of an ancient soul, please feel free to share in the comments. I have experienced this before. A prevalent misunderstanding exists that finding your spiritual purpose involves abandoning your employment, leaving your family, relocating to an ashram, or enacting a significant outward transformation to declare a sacred journey. Yet, for most individuals, particularly those marked by the crescent moon, this is not the authentic process. Your unique calling does not demand you relinquish your present life. Instead, it asks you to infuse mindful awareness into your existing life. That challenging child who tests your every nerve and makes you unearth patience you never knew you possessed. This is not an impediment to your spiritual endeavors. This is your spiritual undertaking. That aging parent whose care consumes all you have to offer, extending you past your perceived boundaries. This represents the learning environment your soul selected, or that partner or family member who repeatedly causes hurt, prompting you to love unconditionally without expectation. The connections you experience now were precisely chosen by your spirit before it inhabited this physical form. Your profound personal evolution unfolds within the ordinary, sometimes complicated, landscape of human interaction, rather than awaiting an effortless, perfect tomorrow. It is within your most challenging relationships that your spiritual journey truly commences. For these very ties hold the deepest promise for personal development and the balancing of past energies. Here, abstract concepts transition into tangible experience. Beautiful notions of boundless affection face their trial by fire amidst the intricate tapestry of everyday existence, shared with individuals possessing genuine imperfections. Yet, there is a crucial insight to grasp. Should you possess this distinct quality, your extraordinary sensitivity, that capacity to deeply perceive every nuance, serves as both your most remarkable blessing and your most exposed tender point. Upon entering any space, you instantly perceive the subtle emotional currents that remain completely unnoticeable to others. You absorb the sorrow, unease, and disarray of your surroundings, much like a perceptive absorber, frequently without conscious awareness of this process. You experience remarkably vivid, yet utterly exhausting dreams, leaving you more weary upon waking than when you initially sought rest. Should you not guard your inner strength with utmost diligence, there's a risk of becoming overwhelmed by feelings not originating from within you, shouldering responsibilities never intended for your keeping. For these reasons, cultivating spiritual practices is not merely a choice, but a fundamental necessity for your well-being. Embrace prayer not as a compulsory ritual, but as a deliberate pathway to forge a connection with a presence greater than your individual self. Seek out literature that nourishes your spirit and gently recalls profound insights you tend to lose sight of. Engage in acts of kindness and helpfulness that divert your focus from internal rumination towards impactful contributions to the world. And, perhaps above all, cultivate a profound inner stillness, creating a sanctuary where your own authentic voice can be heard, distinct from the ceaseless clamor of others' thoughts and emotions permeating your awareness. As Edgar Cayce unequivocally stated, the most potent remedy for the soul resides not primarily in outer influences, although these can undoubtedly offer assistance along your path. Authentic restoration arises from endeavors undertaken with kindness, from assistance extended with heartfelt affection, free from compulsion or the desire for recompense. The outward appearance or perceived significance of such contributions to others holds no consequence. Nor does it matter whether these acts unfold on a prominent platform or within the quiet confines of your personal space. What truly matters is the caliber of attentiveness and purpose you infuse into each deed. A considerable number of individuals attuned to spiritual currents frequently dedicate their time to pursuing the next mentor, the subsequent therapeutic approach, or the latest cosmic revelation that promises to illuminate all mysteries and chart a definite course. Yet, all these pursuits are outward-facing, and your profound insights have consistently resided solely within yourself. Should you find yourself acknowledging the necessity to look inward and cultivate this inner spiritual practice, please share in the comments. My healing starts from within. Upon observing the unique crescent shape etched onto your palm, there's often an inclination to interpret it as a mystical divining tool capable of foretelling your destiny or providing a conclusive account of your history. However, this is not its true nature. Considering it from that perspective entirely overlooks its true meaning. This particular sign does not serve to reveal your former self or to confine you within a predetermined destiny. Rather, it serves as a soft yet consistent prompting from your essence, urging you, notice, recall, become aware. The profound and occasionally difficult reality is that your identity in prior existences holds far less significance than the choices you make at this very instant. Utilizing your current understanding, perhaps in a previous embodiment, you held considerable power, influence, and resources, yet permitted arrogance to corrupt your spirit. It could be that you utilized your talents for control instead of assistance. Alternatively, You might have grown so strongly linked to your position that you overlook the fundamental spiritual tenets from which that very power originated. Should that be a segment of your soul's journey, you may have opted to return in this lifetime with particular constraints woven into your present conditions. Reduced prosperity, diminished prospects, a body resisting your will, or circumstances compelling dependence on others. These are not penalties from a vengeful universe. Instead, they are meticulously designed curriculum, environments offering the chance to cultivate the humility you previously lacked. Here lies the common misunderstanding of karma. It is not a cosmic ledger of good and bad, tallying deeds like a heavenly accountant. Karma functions as a teaching mechanism, operating with profound love and wisdom. Each challenge, limitation, or individual who triggers you presents a precisely calibrated opportunity for your consciousness to evolve beyond its former stagnation. When that internal shift begins, that moment an inner voice says, "I am done repeating this pattern. I don't want to make this mistake again." This very feeling indicates healing is already underway. Your spirit actively sheds old programming, letting go of past ways. Though this process may be uncomfortable or painful, it's a new consciousness awakening within you. The crescent moon embodies the energy of fresh starts. This may be its most hopeful message. Despite falls or deep past failures, an invisible force within always finds a way to rise again. You've likely noticed this in your own life. There were moments you felt certain you couldn't go on, when darkness felt total, permanent, and giving up seemed the only option. Yet somehow, even in that pit, you found a crack of light. Somehow, you gathered strength for one more step. Somehow you survived what you knew would destroy you. This is not luck or coincidence. This inner fortitude, a hallmark of a spirit that has grasped across numerous existences that conclusions are never genuinely ultimate, and that within every departure lies the potential for renewal. If you have experienced this unseen strength elevating you precisely when you felt utterly depleted, perhaps a quiet acknowledgement of the thought, "I always rise again," resonates deeply within you. This imperceptible power resides within you. This spiritual fortitude consistently brings you back to your feet. It is accompanied by a vital realization, distinguishing genuine spiritual growth from superficial self-importance posing as wisdom. The inner might you possess is not intended to control the world or establish your supremacy above anyone else. Its purpose is not to gather influence, construct a multitude of adherents, or elevate your standing over others. This intrinsic power serves a singular goal: to assist and elevate those nearby, to offer support in manners that might never garner public acknowledgement or acclaim. An authentic spiritual purpose unfolds quietly, away from the spotlight, without requiring external confirmation or appreciation. It doesn't publicize its acts of kindness or tally those it has assisted. Instead, it quietly appears, performs its necessary task, and then departs. This crescent moon emblem serves as a constant remembrance of this profound insight. Your arrival here was for the purpose of serving, not to be served yourself, not to be revered, nor to have your vanity indulged. Truly, you are here to serve. Should you lose sight of this, should you begin to employ your innate talents for self-glorification instead of authentic giving, you will have strayed from the journey your spirit envisioned. This does not imply a need for self-sacrifice to the point of martyrdom, or a life of deprivation, or a complete renunciation of comfort and happiness. True service does not demand hardship, but it does necessitate a harmony between your declared identity and your actual conduct in the world, particularly when no one is observing. Edgar Cayce dedicated his whole existence to embodying this very principle. He possessed remarkable capacities, which he could have effortlessly leveraged for personal fortune and renown. Nonetheless, he opted for a modest life, dedicating his abilities to assist anyone who requested help, irrespective of their capacity to offer payment. He had come to grasp a crucial insight. No one enters this world without a reason, and every single event in your existence, even the challenging ones, has been delivered to its perfectly intended location. That early life ordeal that molded your entire character holds a specific role in the education of your spirit. The profound grief that laid you open arrived precisely when your growth demanded it. The persistent hardship you have confronted for many years is imparting an essential wisdom that could not be acquired by any other means. When you glance at your hand and perceive that gentle crescent curve, I encourage you to pause and pose one genuine question to yourself. What true purpose did my spirit embark upon? Not what society dictates, not what promises the most financial gain or public praise, but what did my deeper self truly agree to fulfill in this journey of life? This very question, when posed with genuine sincerity and an openness to whatever answer may surface, transforms into a profound invocation. It serves as an invitation for inner guidance, for clear understanding, and for profound insight. And I assure you, when you pose it honestly, pathways begin to unfold that were previously beyond your perception. New chances emerge, individuals arrive, and necessary means materialize, not due to any manipulation of circumstances on your part, but because you have attuned yourself to your authentic calling. And the cosmos acknowledges this harmony. Here is another truth you ought to be aware of, something that might bring you deep solace. You are not undertaking this journey by yourself. No spirit bearing the emblem of the crescent moon has ever been forsaken or left to unravel every mystery completely on its own. Celestial mentors, wise guides, and instructors from elevated realms have been alongside you since before your very first inhalation in this physical existence. They have observed your path through every victory and every setback, honoring your development and offering solace during your challenges. Should you stumble, should you drift afar from your intended journey, or should you lose memory of all you came here to recall, they are still present, quietly instilling hope into your soul, patiently awaiting the moment you choose to return to authenticity. If you sense the comforting presence of these invisible protectors aiding your passage, share in the comments, "I am guided and protected." A widespread notion exists within spiritual communities, suggesting that adversity serves as the main instructor, asserting that complete dismantling is necessary prior to reconstruction, and that anguish is the sole medium the cosmos acknowledges for personal advancement. However, the insights from Edgar Cayce's work brought to light a truth far deeper and more merciful. Though suffering undeniably offers lessons, the soul truly absorbs knowledge more profoundly and enduringly through gentleness. When you make the conscious choice to pardon an individual who caused you harm, not based on their merit, but because you are worthy of liberation, you are doing more than just settling a dispute in your present existence. You are extending your reach into the past, mending numerous past lives where a lack of forgiveness forged bonds that tethered you to identical spirits across countless cycles of birth. These patterns of hurt were replayed repeatedly until the soul eventually made an alternative decision. That particular individual capable of making such a shift could be you in this very moment, right now. When you embrace unease rather than pushing against it. When you offer affection without expectation of reciprocation. When you show empathy to someone who by conventional measures has not earned such kindness. These gentle deeds generate waves that extend throughout the very essence of your everlasting being. You are dispelling the lingering shadows that have accompanied you for ages, resolving ancient misapprehensions that have reverberated across various forms and personalities. This is the authentic transformation your crescent moon marking is guiding you towards. It's not about some grand outward alteration, but rather a serene, profound inner evolution, moving from rigidity to flexibility, from criticism to acceptance, and from apprehension to affection. If this symbol rests upon your hand, absorb the true message it conveys. The moment has arrived. It is time to cease evading those aspects of yourself you've been avoiding, the memories you've kept hidden, and the truths you've been unable to acknowledge. It is time to embrace your past, not by dwelling within its confines or allowing it to define your identity, but by at last finding peace with every experience that has led you to this very point. All those choices you now regret, all those connections you mishandled, all those chances you let slip away. Your inner self, your ego, desires to keep punishing you for them. Yet, your deeper spirit is prepared to release the entirety of this heavy burden. You have carried feelings of shame and regret as if they were admirable qualities, as if a continuous self-reproach somehow validates your worth as an individual. But truly, that is merely pride manifesting in a different guise, and it's time to release its hold. It's time to return to listening to the quiet promptings of your inner self, the one that has subtly spoken beneath all the world's distractions. That gentle voice recalls what truly holds significance, hidden beneath the accumulated layers of daily existence. A remarkable truth about spiritual progress is that it doesn't demand monumental, transformative gestures to start. Sometimes profound change originates from the most minor possible step. Perhaps a single heartfelt act of pardon for someone against whom you've harbored bitterness for ages. Or a genuine prayer expressed with honest emotion rather than practiced phrases. Consider a solitary visit to an individual who needs your company, even when it feels difficult, or a single instance of truly listening rather than simply awaiting your opportunity to talk. Spiritual growth progresses when your inner being chooses to advance, not when external conditions finally reach an ideal state. Your karma transforms when you alter your inner perspective. When you alter your approach to life's circumstances, the symbol of the crescent moon can illuminate your way. It serves as a gentle reminder that a journey awaits, though it cannot take the steps on your behalf. This phase calls for your deliberate decision, your readiness to advance one foot forward, then the next, even if the destination remains hidden. Should you feel prepared to initiate that initial movement, however it manifests for you, share in the remarks, "I am prepared to follow my journey." A particularly stifling misunderstanding concerning spiritual growth is the notion that complete clarity must precede your commencement. Individuals often delay, anticipating faultless understanding, an exhaustive guide, or total assurance regarding their life's purpose and direction. However, this process does not operate in such a manner. Indeed, seeking that degree of comprehension is merely another manifestation of opposition. It's another tactic by which the ego maintains your perceived safety, by holding you captive. The cosmos does not require you to possess every solution or to perform each action without fault. The path requires a heartfelt commitment, a truly authentic connection with the unfolding voyage of life. Should you sense deep within your being that you possess a unique gift to offer the world, even if its precise nature remains unspoken, that very intuition holds a profound truth. This is not a figment of imagination or a mere hopeful fantasy. Instead, it is your spirit acknowledging its inherent design, even while your waking intellect is still coming to terms with it. Here, the mark of the crescent moon reveals its greatest significance, not as a giver of absolute certainties, but as a steadying presence when all other aspects seem adrift. Envision it as a gentle flame illuminating the deepest shadows of your spirit. During those unavoidable phases when challenges abound, when uncertainties begin to surface, and you ponder if these spiritual concepts hold any validity, or if perhaps you've simply been mistaken all along, then gently turn your gaze to your hand. Observe that mark. Let it reassure you this isn't random, that you're not imagining it, but that a wisdom beyond conscious thought chose to set that symbol there as an enduring reminder. It won't resolve all your difficulties or provide every answer. And that truly is the point. You don't need every answer. You only need to recall who you truly are, beneath acquired conditioning, beneath every fear, and beneath the narratives you've woven about your own limitations. Because here lies a truth our culture constantly strives to make you overlook. You are not your pain. You aren't defined by experienced trauma or past mistakes. You are not the total of your regrets or your worst action. You are not even your past, however much energy you spend replaying it or wishing it were different. All of that is simply like passing weather. These are transient experiences that occurred, but they do not form your essential nature. Your true essence is that of a spirit, perpetually immersed in the act of learning, an everlasting awareness traversing a path that extends far beyond your current existence. You are in a ceaseless state of unfolding, continually expanding, developing, and revealing more of your authentic self, shedding the accumulated veneers of identity and worldly encounters. The subtle curve of the crescent moon resting within your hand, though unspoken, offers undeniable validation of this profound truth. It serves as a testament that your presence in this world was not a matter of chance. Your arrival here was not merely a random biological occurrence, but rather a conscious decision from your soul, made in harmony with benevolent forces who cherished you sufficiently to provide precisely what was essential for this specific phase of your unending narrative. Each trial, every bond you form, and every instance of happiness and grief, all were meticulously arranged not to diminish you, but rather to unveil your true essence. Their purpose is to gently peel away all that does not genuinely belong to you, until only the radiant core of your eternal being stands revealed. If you sense this profound realization resonating within your very being, please share in the comments. I am more than my story. The physical world strives relentlessly to diminish your experience, to persuade you that you are merely one among countless others, that your actions hold no true importance, and that existence is simply an endless cycle of fundamental patterns devoid of deeper meaning. The prevailing societal views constantly reinforce this perspective through their fixation on superficial achievements, by reducing human value to output and consumption, and by insisting that reality extends no further than what is visible. Yet, deep within you, beneath all the layers of societal influence and ingrained habits, there resides an inner conviction that refuses to be quelled. You understand, even without being able to logically prove or articulate it, that there is far more at play here than the materialist perspective acknowledges. That unwavering certainty, that serene awareness which endures despite all opposing evidence. This is your initial marvel, and its significance is truly immense. The genuine marvel isn't a magical freedom from hardship, or way to bypass the human path of pain and struggle. Instead, the true wonder lies in facing these trials with an unbroken awareness, with a trust that needs no assured results, and with a love that endures even when unreturned. It's staying fully present while enduring intense periods, holding on to your bond with something vaster, even as all that's apparent crumbles. This is the transformation the crescent moon symbol beckons you toward. Not an escape from what's real, but a full reframing of reality's deepest meaning. Now, let me mention something that might feel unsettling, but is truly key for your growth. Have you noticed how certain emotional patterns keep surfacing in your life, simply wearing different guises? Perhaps it's often a relationship where you feel deserted, or a job where you're undervalued, or a friendship that becomes entirely one-sided. While individuals and situations may vary, the fundamental recurring theme often strikes one as remarkably alike. This isn't a matter of ill fortune, nor does it suggest any inherent flaw within you. Instead, it represents karma unfolding exactly as intended, providing you with continuous chances to react uniquely, to select an alternate course, and to finally conclude a pattern that may have persisted through countless existences. The crescent moon, as a powerful emblem, conveys that you possess the inherent capacity to bring this to a close. There is no obligation for this recurring phase to persist indefinitely. A different decision is entirely within your grasp. Edgar Cayce grasped a profound truth, one that offers immense solace once it truly resonates within you. He realized that reincarnation is not a form of retribution or a misfortune. Rather, it stands as an extraordinary gift. Consider this perspective. You are granted the opportunity to return and attempt once more, but now equipped with enhanced insight from previous journeys. Greater available means, increased spiritual radiance lighting your way, and a deeper emotional resilience to navigate the challenges that once overcame you. Existence bestows remarkable kindness upon individuals truly dedicated to absorbing lessons from their journey, even during periods when it seems all is conspiring against you. Unseen influences are shaping situations that ultimately benefit you, establishing precisely the environment necessary for your forthcoming evolution. Yet, this is where matters become profoundly personal and perhaps somewhat challenging. Rest easy. That specific crescent shape isn't merely a celestial wonder or a fascinating discussion point. It holds the recollection of an agreement you entered into prior to your embodiment in this physical form. You stood in that transitional realm between existences, possessing complete understanding of your soul's path and a precise foresight of the next necessary steps. You established a pledge. You vowed you would offer assistance, that you would contribute, that you would conquer particular difficulties that had previously bested you. And now, within this current lifetime, that very promise seeks your recognition, calling for engagement. Should you be sensing this invitation and feeling the profound resonance of that ancient vow, please share in the comments, "I remember my pledge." The query currently before you isn't whether this insight holds accuracy, or if the mark of the crescent moon truly signifies what I've presented. The matter is considerably simpler and far more intimate. What will be your course of action with the knowledge you've gained here today? Will you permit this moment of profound insight to recede into the everyday clamor of existence? Or will you honor the deeper meaning that guided you to this very presentation at this precise juncture for a purpose? If you have accompanied me through this entire exploration that reveals something significant about you, it indicates a sincere quest for understanding. It suggests your readiness to delve beyond superficial appearances. It signifies that an inner part of you discerns authenticity when it's expressed, even if that authenticity questions all you once believed. And if this describes your essence, then I wish to ensure you are fully aware of what unfolds next. This conversation, you see, is merely unfolding. I encourage you to gently press that subscribe button right now, not simply to expand your list of channels, but because the insights shared here are truly intended to nurture your genuine inner awakening, providing you with perspectives and tools that are not just intellectually stimulating, but profoundly applicable to the spiritual path you are walking. And if you would, I would be grateful if you could leave a comment in this moment, perhaps sharing the sentiment, "This message found me at precisely the right time." Please know that I carefully read and consider every single response. There is a subtle yet powerful effect in articulating your readiness, in giving voice to the gentle internal shift that is quietly taking place within you. It helps to ground it, to make it more tangible and witnessed. Furthermore, gently tapping the like button quietly assists this video in reaching other souls who may be holding similar questions to those you carried when you first arrived here. These are individuals who genuinely need to encounter precisely what has resonated with you in this moment. You will find another video linked nearby, offering a deeper journey into understanding the subtle indications your soul is conveying and how best to respond when its quiet summons finally becomes clear. Please click to gently join me there and continue our shared exploration. We'll simply continue this gentle progress as your readiness for the next step is wonderfully clear.